Well, hello everyone. This is Dave from Universal Truth of Mankind. Um, Here you see the Hebrew characters. If you scan, please pause and do your scanning, and when you're done, continue. This is verse 5 of the prologue, which is a continuation of the first four verses, and you will see a continual revelation taking place, and we will see that here as well. So, let's continue. Here's the English translation. Okay, so verse 5, it says, another explanation, and this is of the flower buds, are the patriarchs who come to thought or mind and come into the world to come, namely Binah. Now let's just break this down real quick here for you. Now the patriarchs are souls, okay? We got to think spiritually here. So these are souls. So the patriarchs, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, were already created. They are root souls that were already created in the very beginning before they ever became physical beings. Remember, we are souls with a body, not a body with a soul. So the soul existed first, then the body. So mind, this is important because when we take a look at the Creator, we find the Creator has a will, a mind, and then a voice, a mouthpiece, which is Binah in this case. Okay, so let's continue. Where they were hidden, they emerged from there secretly and hid themselves among the true prophets. Joseph was born, and they hid in him. When Joseph, remember we're talking spiritual here, when Joseph entered the Holy Land. Now it says land, so Holy Land. We're not really talking about Israel at this point. We are talking about a spiritual land. Okay? He revealed their presence, and then they appeared on the earth. Okay, now the earth is where they became physical and were seen there. And when are the patriarchs seen? When the rainbow is seen in the sky, because that is when they appeared. And at the moment, the time of pruning has come. Okay, now, a couple of things here to note. I talk about the up above, the world to come. Actually, the translation really means the world that is coming. So there's a gradual, continual process of revelation and growth, spiritual growth of us, mankind, in the physical universe. Now, eventually, we will return to the proper state. We are not in the proper state right now that we're supposed to be in, but this is all part of the plan. This was not a circumvention to the plan. This is all part of the plan. So eventually it's like throwing a rock into a pond. Eventually everything, the ripples will go away and everything will balance out. So the world to come is what we're speaking of here at this point. Okay, so we talked about now the rainbow. Now the rainbow, was a covenant, but in particular it has 7 in it. Now, let's step back one more time. Keep that in mind. Joseph is mentioned. Now you may be saying, wait a minute, where did Joseph come from? Because Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob physically were born before Joseph. Well, it's said that Joseph entered the land. Now, Joseph is a soul amongst the true prophets. What is Joseph known for? Well, many of us would say, well, he kept Egypt from starving. 7 years he collected the food, and then 7 years when there was a drought and famine, famine, they would provide the food for the world. Well, that's really what he's not known for. What he's known for is his fidelity. He refused to sleep with Potiphar's wife in respect for Potiphar. Also, in respect for his wife that he would eventually know. So he was known for his fidelity. So he entered the land. What does that mean? Well, there's a part of the Creator that is known as the land. It's the feminine aspect of the Creator. So what happened here is that the Joseph, in a sense, impregnated the land to give birth to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Remember, this is spiritual things we're talking about here. We're not talking about physical land. But what the Zohar is trying to present here is that the Creator, through a very beautiful effort of love and effort of procreating, created the spiritual universe that eventually became physical. And that's the beauty here. But now we're talking about the 7 colors of the rainbow. Now, what's special about this? Well, these 7 colors represent 7 attributes of the Creator that we are made in the image of. And Joseph is one of those attributes and dwelt with one of those attributes. So is Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob that have also those attributes, pardon me, within him. There are attributes in creation that we are to emulate that are images of the Creator's attributes. So that's what the rainbow is speaking to at this point. All right, so it says the time of pruning has come. Now, what's the pruning? Well, that's where we start purifying ourselves. That's where we start taking things back. That's where the Creator says, okay, things have gone far enough. They went as far as they should. Now we're going to start pulling people back. We're going to start correcting the universe. And we're going to do that through the spiritual means so that eventually, well, this realm will have peace. We will be following God's will. Okay, because the flowers appear on the earth. The flowers, the patriarchs. The patriarchs were the beginning of everything. If they had not already appeared so long ago, the wicked would have had remained on the earth. So, wickedness, anti-God, opposite attributes of the Creator would exist. So, these patriarchs came to reverse, to give the proper side, to remove the opposite sides of these attributes. What's an opposite? Well, very simple. You shall do versus you shall not do. That's the opposite. There's certain things we shouldn't do, period. There's certain things we should do, period. Well, there's also an evil side. Remember, God said He's the creator of evil. So the idea of evilness is all part of creation, but it is eventually will be done away with through the patriarchs and their offspring, which includes us. Now, it also says here something very interesting. It says that, and the world would have been destroyed. In other words, if it wasn't for the patriarchs, remember, we're talking spiritual here, the world would not be saved. And I find this very peculiar because what does it say in John 3:16? Remember, a prophet never speaks of himself. It says, God so loved the world, He gave His only begotten Son. Who's His Son? According to Exodus 4:22, it's Israel. Who's Israel? Israel is Jacob. Right? He wrestled. Jacob was given. Whoever believes in Him shall not perish, but have everlasting life. What does it mean, belief? Belief does not mean blind faith. Belief in Hebrew, emunah, means a faith that is developed through a relationship. So if we have a relationship with Israel, we will eventually have a relationship through, remember, we're talking spiritual here. We will have a relationship with the Creator, and the world will be transformed. Well, everybody, you take care and be safe, and I look forward to seeing you again. Shalom, shalom.